Hi there, thank you so much for clicking on this YouTube video. We are going to get into a quick ELE mini lesson and we're going to focus on complete sentences. We're going to focus on complete sentences because I think this is something that we need to address because some people have kind of forgotten what a complete sentence is. We're going to talk about what a complete sentence looks like and how to write one that is complete. Alright, so we are going to define what a complete sentence is. Number one, what a complete sentence is it is a complete thought. So, you need to think something in your head and you either write it down, you either type it, or you either say it. It is a complete thought that you think and then express in either writing or speech. Okay? And number two, it starts with a capital letter. Every single sentence starts with a capital letter, meaning that first word, the first letter in that word always has to be capitalized every single time. The next thing it has to do is it has to end with a punctuation mark. Typically, it ends in a period. A period is the little dot right there. That is normally how a sentence ends, but a sentence can also end with an exclamation point or a question mark. All right, and the last thing that makes up a sentence is it makes sense on its own. So, for example, we have an example of what is not a sentence. It says, the green frog. The green frog is not a complete sentence. It is not a complete sentence because it doesn't follow the subject and predicate. We'll get to this later. What we need to do is we need to add on to what the green frog is doing. So we've identified who is in that sentence, the green frog, and then it says hopped onto a lily pad. So what a sentence has to do is has to have something in the sentence, either a person or a thing, and they have to do something. It has to have an action, which gets into subject and predicate. So, the subject is who or what is in the sentence. Who or what. For example, the green frog is the subject. It is the noun. It is a frog that is green. And then we get into predicate, which is typically at the end. It doesn't always have to be, but in this instance it is. The predicate is the action in a sentence. So what is the frog doing? The frog hopped onto a lily pad. So another example of a subject and predicate sentence is this one down here. It says, the tiny spider spins a web. Okay? I began with a capital letter. The subject is my tiny spider. The who or the what. The predicate is the action. The action is the spider spins a web. And it has an ending punctuation, which is a period. That is a complete sentence. Okay, so now that we know what a complete sentence is, we're going to try and figure out if any of these sentences right here are complete. So remember, it has to have a subject and a predicate. A subject means who or what is in the sentence, and the predicate is the action that it needs to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two different colors. I'm going to use orange for subject, and I'm going to use purple for predicate, and I'm going to underline those parts in the sentence. From there, I'm going to figure out if it's a sentence or if it's not. If it is a sentence, I'll give it a check mark, and if it's not a sentence, I'll give it an X. So we're going to get started with number one. All right, looking at number one, it says the cat likes to play. So the subject is who or what the sentence is about, and it is about a cat. So I'm going to underline the cat. And then the action is what's happening in the sentence. So the cat likes to play. So that is my action. A sentence needs to have a subject and a predicate, which it looks like it does. So this is a complete sentence. So I'm going to give it a check mark. All right, now we're going to move on to number two. Number two says, I can find. Okay, so the subject is I can find. What? What's the action? Can find what? This sentence is not complete. The predicate is not completed because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't follow along with the final one, so this is not a sentence. All right, now we're going to get into number three. Number three says, cute little kittens. Okay, so the subject is the kittens, and they are cute. Does it have any predicate? Are they doing anything? Nope, this is not a sentence. So number three is not a sentence. Remember, to make a complete sentence, they have to do an action and follow through with it. Going back to number two, I can find it's not complete. It doesn't have the final part. What is the person trying to find? All right, now we're gonna move on to number 4. Number 4 says, I like to go to the library. So the subject is who or what the sentence is about. It is I. And what is the action? They like to go to the library. So this is a sentence because we have a subject and we have a predicate. We have who they are, who or what they are, and what do they do, the action. So this is a complete sentence. Okay, now we're gonna go on to number 5. Number 5 says, we can bake cookies after school. So, who is the sentence about? The subject. We can. What can they do? The action is bake cookies after school. Is this a sentence? Yes, it is a sentence. Okay, next, number 6. We are on number 6. It says, he rode his bike to the park. The subject is this he person, and the action, the predicate, is rode his bike to the park. So sometimes the subjects can be really, really small. He, we, I, the cat, and then the predicate is what the thing does. It can be a little bit longer, and it gets, the longer the predicate is, the more details being added into the sentence, which is good. Number 7 says, my teacher is nice. Okay, the subject is, Number 6 is a sentence. Okay, number 7, my teacher is nice. My teacher is the subject, and the action for this sentence is this is nice predicate. So is a verb of how that teacher is. So this is a sentence. All right, number 8. Number 8 says, she fell down and hurt. Okay, so subject is she. Predicate is fell down and hurt. But does that make sense? She fell down and hurt. This is not a complete sentence because it does not make sense. It does not follow through. She fell down and hurt. What? It's not a complete thought. Remember, step number 1 for a complete sentence is a complete thought. This is not a complete thought. It has a subject, but the predicate is not complete. So she fell down and hurt. We don't know what she fell down and hurt. So we're going to try, so that's not correct. Number 9 says, can you pet a dog? So the subject is can you. Predicate is what they do. Pet a dog. And look at this. There's a question mark at the end. That is a punctuation. This is a sentence. It has a capital, it has a punctuation, a complete subject, and a complete predicate. Last one says, to the bat. Look right here. Is it capitalized? No. There's a punctuation, but it's not capitalized. Also, it doesn't make sense. The bat is the subject? To? Is that the predicate? I don't know. This is not a complete thought. This does not make sense. So this is not a sentence. All right? All right, I really hope this helped you understand what complete sentences are, meaning you start with you complete a thought, start with a capital, end with some form of punctuation, and you make it, you have it make sense with a subject and a predicate, who or what something is happening to, and then the action that happens. Hope this helps. Please write complete sentences. Go.